back to Create2Game, where we connect creators and gaming. I'm Moogli. This week we have a very special guest. As promised, this week we have a special guest, model content creator Bubblegum Caitlyn. Thank you for joining us. It's been a long time coming. I'm so happy that I get to talk to you and share your beauty and talent with everybody.
I'm super excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. To start off, would you mind telling me a little bit about yourself, maybe about your background and your modeling career?
Yeah, so I became a creator shortly after I was disabled. I saw that there was no representation for the disabled community, and a lot of it was negative. So I really wanted to change that connotation. It led me into modeling because there's no disabled bodies on the runways, and I think that we should be representing everybody because all bodies are beautiful. I would say that most of my content is geared towards the disabled community and finding ways to enrich our lives and achieve that disabled equality.
Yeah, and that's actually something that I found interesting specifically about your modeling career and the photography that you're a part of. It's very inclusive, and specifically, I know you're an advocate for ambulatory wheelchair use. So can you explain a little bit about what that is?
So an ambulatory wheelchair user is somebody that doesn't specifically, they can use their legs. So for me, I have CIDP and CIAP. They're rare autoimmune diseases that destroy the nervous system. So although I can stand and walk for short distances, i.e. like a short runway, my legs give out very easily. So it's safer for me to be in my chair. Plus, I also have fainting spells and seizures. So it's just really safer for me to be in my wheelchair. I think there's a lot of misconceptions around the wheelchair use. People see you cross your legs and they assume that you're faking it because your leg moved. But not all wheelchair users are paralyzed from the waist down. Some of us can use our legs. We just can't use them often. So I think it's really important that people realize it's a spectrum. It's not black and white.
Yeah, and that's really important to just, I think, getting away from the stereotypes of what you expect somebody to look like. This is more, I guess, it can open a conversation where people can learn more about things that other people are going through without you even knowing. Like, we had talked about this briefly previously, but I have certain mental health issues that for a while I tried to ignore, or I thought that I didn't have these issues or didn't deal with these disabilities, but because now I've talked to people who have gone through similar things, I feel more empathetic, and now I hope that I kind of understand that it's not just what it looks like from the outside, but you can talk to somebody and try to learn more about what they're going through.
Exactly. Yeah. It's never don't judge a book by its cover, that old saying. You never know what someone's going through, and mental illness is considered a disability too. So it's just it's an invisible one. You know what I mean? You don't necessarily see it, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Yeah. And that's something that took me years to be comfortable, even speaking about, just because I didn't have anything to show for it, I guess. And I didn't want to be brushed off. But now I think at least for me, I feel like it's a little bit more acceptable, but I'm still learning about things. For example, I didn't know about ambulatory wheelchair use until you explained it to me. And that's something that now I feel like, okay, I can either explain it to somebody else or judge people less, not make assumptions. And then I guess kind of going off of that, do you want to tell me about Paris Fashion Week this past year and your role in that?
So, little unknown to me, I think about 2 to 3 weeks before I went, I kind of did a search. I was like, oh, I wonder if there's ever been a wheelchair on the Paris runway, and realized that there hadn't been, and I was going to be the first wheelchair on the Paris runway, and it was kind of nerve-wracking, but also exciting, but then also a little disappointing at the same time. Right. It's 24, you know what I mean? It already happened. But Paris was refreshing. It was great to get up in front of Parisians and on that runway where Fashion Week actually started in Paris. It's one of the most, if we're going to make a statement about the disabled community, why not put us on the biggest stage in the fashion world, As soon as I, wheeled into the runway, I was like, it's like a shift. I was like, all right, this is it, girl. And it was just really amazing.
That's awesome. The photos looked so good. You always look so confident in your element, like such a professional. So it's really cool. Just, I guess in general, seeing how the trends for modeling, how the industry as a whole has changed over the years, even in such a short period of time, because I remember growing up, it was so limited of what you would see, and now it's innovative and inclusive. So this is what it should be, but it's people like you, your people you work with, everybody trying to help make a difference, and that's awesome. It helps the younger generation too when they see people like them or somebody who is different but looks cool. It's like this is what I want to see. And I've kind of off topic a little bit, but I've noticed that the younger generation is super open and inclusive, and I'm really impressed with that. Sometimes I'm like, wow, okay, I think the world's gonna be okay. If we didn't have this growing up, I feel like my group was more judgmental, but for, I guess, like Gen Z, they seem pretty accepting of everything, and it's really cool to see.
It is really cool to see. I have a 2.5-year-old, almost 3-year-old, and she's kind to everyone. Nobody is an exception. And I see that a lot in the Gen Z generation too. They're like, sometimes the ones that stand up for me in public, they're like, hey, don't treat her like that. And it's just really encouraging to see. I think the more that we talk about these things, the more inclusive we become. I remember as a kid, we were very don't look at anybody different. Don't look at them, don't engage with them. And I think that turned us into adults who do the same. So we're kind of breaking their standards by doing this.
I guess going to general hobbies. So I believe we met in I think it was a female gaming group. So I just wanted to ask you a little bit about your all-time favorite video games, or if there's anything you're playing now, or just anything you want to talk about gaming related.
So I've been playing Disney Dreamlight Valley, and I'm one of those gamers where if I don't play it for a while, I have to restart it. And I've just been so busy lately that I've had to restart Disney Dreamlight Valley 15 times. But my favorite, which usually surprises people coming out of Bubblegum Me, is Fatal Frame, the horror series that was on PlayStation 2.
What is it? Sorry, I missed that.
Right, the Fatal Frame series.
Oh.
So it's that's my favorite. My husband got me all the first 3, and I have a little PlayStation 2 that I play it on, and it's. I actually had one that glitched. And this one doesn't, but there was a scene where there's a ghost dropping from the staircase, and then she goes, so it's ah! And mine glitched, and she kept doing it over and over, so I couldn't kill her. And I was avoiding this entire room, going the other way, because I didn't want to hear that constantly in the room. That's something I fondly remember though, because it gets kind of funny after a while, that just repeated sound. I'm like, this woman's dying and I'm laughing. This is probably not a good idea.
That's funny. I don't think I've heard of that game, but I'll look into it. That's great though. And then I guess, oh sorry, what were you saying?
I think you would enjoy it. It can be very scary. So
yeah. Even if I play, I love, well, in theory, I love scary games, but then every little movement makes me jump, so I can't really play it on stream because I'll be yelling into the mic, but it's fun. It's fun for me. I love my heart racing and everything. It's just not fun for people with their earbuds in listening to me play.
Fair.
Since you mentioned Bubblegum Caitlyn, is there a reason that you picked that as your name, your social media identity?
I think over the years I've been described. At first I had no idea how to respond to this, because people would be like, I don't even know what to say, but you're like the epitome of bubblegum. And I'm just like, I don't really know what that means, but I've come to like, I think it means like that ray of sunshine. A lot of people call me a ray of sunshine too, and they think bubblegum is like bright and colorful and vivid, and that's me as a person. So I kind of was like, you know what? Why not? My brand, my knick-knack shop is also called Bubblegum Creations because all of my stuff is just almost like Lisa Frank, but in 2024.
Yeah, that makes sense for sure. I've seen your creation page too, but even just what you post on a daily basis, like especially if I'm going through a hard time, it's like those are the little things I need to just make me reevaluate. Like, oh, there are nice people out here who care, or this is a little reminder that if I'm in the darkest steps, like maybe it seems like I don't need that right now, but it really does help. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for giving us some joy if we're going through a hard day or something. It genuinely really helps.
Hey, that's part of the reason I do it. I think you've told me a couple of times that even though you aren't able to comment or like the post, that you've seen it and it's kept you going. And that's kind of why I do it, because I'm like, I don't even care how many people see it. Mm-hmm. As long as somebody sees it and it brightens their day or helps them keep going, it's enough.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Is there anything else that you'd like to share? I don't know if I skipped over anything at all.
Good. I think we had a really good chat, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Thank you. Thank you so much for doing this again, since I messed it up the first time, but I always love chatting with you, and I can't wait to see what you do next. When you pop up, your photos pop up on my feed, I get excited. I love photography. I wish I was a better photographer. I'm not at all, but it's so enjoyable to see. So thanks for sharing.
I'll be in Milan in about a month, so you'll be able to see those pictures soon.
Awesome. And then do you do live performances still? Or I don't know, actually, if you want to like dox yourself or like share where you're located. I don't know if that's uncomfortable, but if there is something a performance or something, then feel free to share.
Oh yeah, I'm not doing any performances locally right now, but I am thinking about streaming. So
okay, please let me know. Please let me know. I will be there. I'll be your first chatter.
That's so cute.
That would be awesome. But yeah, let me know if you do. It'll be fun.
People want me to, but I'm like kind of like you. I'm very animated, and if something makes me angry, I'm very loud.
That's all part of the charm. Everybody has a different streaming personality, so that'll be fun.
I think so too, but I'll definitely let you know.
Awesome. Thank you so much. If you'd like to hear more from Caitlyn, you can find her on social media at Bubblegum Caitlyn. We have a ton of new game releases this week. First off, Nikhil Murthy's Civilization comes out on PC on September 1st. Sumerian 6 comes out on PC September 2nd, and again on PC, GT Manager comes out September 3rd. Harry Potter Quidditch Champions comes out on PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on September 3rd. Star Trekker will be out for PC on September 3rd. Age of Mythology Retold will be out on Xbox X and S, Xbox One, and PC September 4th. Necro King will be out on PC September 4th. Data Live Ren Dystopia will be out on PC September 5th. Demon's Mirror will also be out on PC September 5th. Gimmick 2 will be out on Switch and PC September 5th. With the Car will be out on PC September 5th, and I love that name. Astrobot will be out on PS5 September 6th, and Perennial Order will be out on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC September 6th. Last week, I asked you guys, what is a milestone you've reached as a creator that you're extremely proud of, and here's what you guys said. One listener said having a video break 100,000 views. That's crazy. Another one said when they hit 100 subs on YouTube. Someone else shared that they hit 12 followers on Twitch. And lastly, someone shared that they hit YouTube partner and almost 22,000 followers on TikTok. These are all amazing accomplishments. Congrats to everyone for hitting these milestones, and thank you as always for sharing your responses. This week, I want to know what your hidden talent is. Remember to share your responses on social media by replying to my post on Threads. Thank you guys again for tuning into this week's episode of Create2Game. You can find me on Valkence Social at Moogli, and on all other social media platforms at MoogliGames. Be sure to head to Valkence.com for updates on all of our other podcasts, latest news, and more from the Valkence family. And we actually have 3 new Valkence podcasts that just released, so if you're interested, head to Valkence.com. See you next time.